Here with more on where this hurricane will be going from here. The founder of weatherbell.com, our good friend. He's also the official meteorologist of the Sean Hannity radio show. Joe Bastardi is with us. Joe, you actually about 36 hours ago said there's a possibility this might come in more south than we think, meaning below Tampa. You ended up being right in your call. Let's talk about how bad. Go ahead. Yeah.
We actually had that forecast position from Saturday. We held it. And, you know, a lot of people weren't watching what goes on. And I don't expect, I'm a weather nut. So there's this constant, there's about 3 to 5 million people that are just weather fanatics in the country that were watching what different forecasts look like. So they know what my company has had out. We got a lot of clients in Florida. And we always felt the landfall would be between Tampa and Naples, probably in the middle of it. It wasn't too bad, from 5 days away, making a 30-mile area. It's not that bad. The thing that we had to be concerned with Tampa, of course, was all the forecasts that were up to the west of them, and that would be shoving that same kind of situation you see in Naples. Then this happened in 1921, Sean, and that was the big fear, and it was a well-founded fear. Okay, I'm not disagreeing with that. That if the storm went in just north of Tampa, then they would have that 15, 20-foot surge up Tampa Bay. But you want to know why this is very, very difficult to happen? And you saw it with Charlie. Because when a storm is moving parallel to the west coast of Florida, the vectors around the storm change. And we see this, and there's actually papers on it done with typhoons in Taiwan, that the frictional effects, if a storm is moving to the right of an island, parallel to it, or the right of a peninsula, it will pull it in. And once it gets in, guess what it does? It goes looking for the water on the other side. You notice how hurricanes, when they're to the right of Florida, tend to stay offshore. Matthew, Dorian, remember how they stayed offshore? Because the same kind of frictional effect on the East Coast will keep this offshore. So what you're seeing here is like Charlie. Remember, Charlie was forecasted up to Tampa too, remember? And where did it go? It went in south right here because the friction pulled it in. So what happens is this is going to get to the Atlantic coast, and it's going to get there, I think, tomorrow afternoon. It looks like it's coming quicker, a little bit quicker to me, all right? Once it gets there, then it's all bets off further north. The National Hurricane Center has issued the hurricane watch from northeast Florida to South Carolina. Remember, we were on last night saying, boy, I'm really concerned about this.
All right, but Joe, let me get you focused for 1 second here, if I can. All right, it comes in from Naples, then north of Naples, pretty much the ground zero where this landed, which is Fort Myers. North of that, Sarasota, then Tampa. Okay, so it's coming in from the west coast of Florida. It then is slightly turning left, headed right up to Orlando, as we mentioned earlier, and it's picking up steam the whole time. Still hurricane category winds with it, so strong winds, still dangerous for people. Then it makes its way more eastward towards the east coast of Florida. Then it goes into, Jacksonville, Ponte Vedra, that area. Then where from there? Then it's going to go up to Savannah, up to Charleston, South Carolina.
The center doesn't go in there. You know, I can't add to what the outstanding people before I came on have said about what it's going to do, what will happen up into the Florida coast. What the concern has been, and what we've been trying to tell people, is that northeasterly wind that's ramming 30 to 40 miles an hour into the northeast coast of Florida already is piling water up. What happens when the system gets offshore and is a hurricane again and comes northward? Then you'll have the storm surge from that coming up the coast. In the meantime,
we have to move on, but I got a quick question. North of Jacksonville, because it will go to Jacksonville after it gets out of central Florida, then does Savannah have to worry, and what parts of South Carolina do we have to worry about?
Yes, Savannah, Charleston, all those places. I think they're going to get hit by a hurricane. Right. And the compounding problem with the storm surge is the pre-existing water piling up. I'm sorry I'm so animated about this.
No, I know. Listen, for those that don't know, Joe is a storm chaser. He eats, breathes, and sleeps this, knows every storm. What was the name of the hurricane, the biggest hurricane in 1920? Quick quiz.
And I'm not sure 1920, but I know about some of the. I don't think there was a big hurricane in 1920. See
How
that?
about 1926?
One year there wasn't a big hurricane. Well, the 1920s, we had a lot through southern Florida. 1929, the Cape Sable hurricane, 1947, and that went into Savannah eventually after hitting South Florida. Look at that, deja vu.
All right. Joe Bastardi, weatherbell.com. Thank you. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.